as our normal procedure, I'd like to start with you, Dan Parks, and introduce yourself and your representation.
Dan Parks, the Inn at Sonoma.
Good. Wendy?
Wendy Peterson. I'm on the board of Stay Sonoma Valley, and then I have a cottage, Jane's Sonoma College, which is a vacation rental.
Liddy?
Liddy Perlotto with MacArthur Place Hotel and Spa.
And if I pronounce it wrong, is it Amandra or how to, pardon me for not.
I think it's Aranda, and I look like she just
Aranda?
It looks like she just bounced out, so I'll try to get her back here real quick. So we'll keep going, and I'll get her back.
Okay. Christopher?
Ingeberg, the Lodge at Sonoma.
Christopher, just text me the date that you think is good for you, and we'll set it up.
That sounds great. Absolutely not.
Okay. And thank you for the escape thing. From the city of Sonoma, we have the mayor here. Would you please introduce yourself, please?
Madeline Agramonte, and it's so good to see everybody. I can't believe it. And Norm, and also Garrett Toy is on vacation. I think he's gone till the 23rd, so he'll be in the meeting next month. I think you're going to be, well, Tim has already met him. He's a pretty cool guy.
Okay, we're looking forward to meeting the new city manager. And I'm Norman Krug, Sonoma Valley Inn. Tim, could you introduce yourself?
Sure. Tim Zahner, Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau, and 2 points of interest. One, this meeting is streaming live on YouTube because it's a public meeting and people can watch it. Very exciting. Also, today's the first day of school for my kids, so there might be a little commotion behind us. They're big kids. Yay. But so there's any commotion. I think I've got it away, but there's going to be commotion. But here we are.
We're very excited for you and all the other children in the state that are going back to school. I think that's fabulous news. Fabulous. Did I miss anybody that I can't see on my screen?
Nope, you did not.
Are there any other board members or attendees here that we should be introducing?
Norm, there is not. Nope.
Okay, and you put a call into Hunt, and he is not going to be attending, I guess.
It appears as such.
Okay.
And what happened to the El Pueblo?
Well, we'll see Aranda. I'm going to email her again. Looks like she might have bumped off, but let's see if she might rejoin us real quickly. I'm going to check my email.
Yeah, if she can join us, that would be great, because I think one of the items we want to do is introduce her in to the board and discuss appointing her at the next board meeting to be the representative for El Pueblo. So it'd be nice to have her on. With that being said, Dan, do you want to start with the financial update?
The financial update, I think all of us know that business is back and we're doing well. We're doing pretty much as well as we've ever seen. And we just have to work on keeping it that way. But I think we're back to the point where we can start thinking about some contributions to some of the organizations that we try and help along a little bit, and starting to get our payments made to the advertising fund and to the Visitors Bureau for operations. So I'll be talking to Tim and the treasurer there, and we'll set up a schedule and get that happening. So on the money end, we're in good shape.
So, could I ask a question, Tim? So Dan, is there a report on the finances? I don't have one.
And what kind of report are you looking for?
Well, I guess I don't know what happened last month. I think I'm looking for, the.
You're looking for one of those confusing reports that we don't know which month the money is.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. And maybe Yeah, no, I'm fine.
So,
I
Madeline,
just, everybody's asking the question.
yeah,
Um,
I'll just jump in real quick, Dan, if I can. That normally, city manager will provide us. I think you're looking for the TOT and TID collections that come in by month.
Okay,
And
so that's our
uh,
responsibility.
yeah, I mean, I've taught. I'll explain to Garrett how it works. But essentially, Ryan in finance gives it. I saw he had it. He probably gave it, and we'll get it soon. And Dan, I don't know if you received it yet, but normally, the city manager will normally bring that and present it during their section of the meeting.
Right. And I know Mr. Kodama, and so I can talk to him. What am I asking for, Tim?
So
Well,
Go
Ryan
ahead.
has sent that over. He sent what the deposit will be for this month, which
Oh, okay.
is the highest we've seen in a long time. But as I say, the reports are very confusing because it's difficult to tell what month they're for.
I know.
And they've always been confusing, and I wish there was a way to make them clearer, but all I can say is that we're
There's
doing
money.
very well compared to the past. And
Because I think it's the county is slow to give us numbers. Is that right, Dan?
we don't, the TID doesn't deal with the county.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure.
That's all right. I just asked the question, and Tim, you'll just find that for me. Thank you. I don't need to bother you.
Dan, I have a question. Is the budgeted 400,000 include the 100,000 for visitor service, or is the 100,000 in addition to the 400?
I think the 100,000 is in addition to the 400.
So what we're saying is you have $500,000 needed to fund the Bureau and the visitor services. You have 370,000 currently in. So you are 130 short. And what you're saying is with the strong business and anticipated revenue, we should meet those requirements within the next 30 or 60 days. Is that it? Correct?
Yes, that's right. And we don't put those funds in all at the same time. We spread those out a little bit to just, because I don't think they're needed yet. The advertising funds, we'd like them to be there by the winter time when we need them the most. Right now, we're not in need of advertising, I don't think.
So by October, we should have the 500,000 and start building a surplus there. And you're recommending, and I'm going to ask Tim to put on as our secretary the agenda for the next board meeting, the reopening of the granting program, and ask that the members of the board, if they know people that are potential candidates that have not applied, to ask them to apply for the next meeting. And then I believe, Dan, we have the list of the reoccurring ones that we have all the time.
We do, and we can contact those folks. And I think we just need an update on what they're doing, whether they're doing their events or not, or putting it off till next year, and so we can help a little where we can.
So those people that we've in the past given to, then Tim, could you contact and get, as Dan says, an update or a status report on where their events are through the end of 2022?
Yes, I can do that. And Norm, just to clarify, would you like me to have all the applications in by next meeting or start opening the process?
No, we could, anybody who could get it in would be fine.
Okay.
But I think we want to authorize opening up the program for a certain amount of money. And in order to get that number, I think we have to have an idea on the status of the various events that we've in the past funded, so we allocate enough money.
I
We
understand.
don't actually have to have the applications in, I don't believe at that time, but if we did, that would be great.
Okay, okay,
But we need to get a budget.
do it. Perfect.
Dan, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, and I think what we talked about originally was we did a conservative budget, and I think the way things are going now, we will, maybe next meeting, maybe the meeting after, we can modify our budget a little bit to take stock of the fact that a little more is coming in than we expected.
Well, I would therefore suggest that, Tim, as an additional agenda item, we, for the next meeting, we put review of the 2022 budget, okay? So that will give us the opportunity to discuss it based on the revenue that we will have in through, I presume, July, maybe July for sure. Okay, so that's 2 items we're going to have on the agenda, Tim. Add items.
Okay.
And then we're safe with the Brown Act and we don't have to worry about talking about these things.
Okay.
Is there anything else that anyone would like to ask of Dan or Tim? If not, Tim, you're up on the marketing.
All right. Thank you. So just a real quick update here. We spoke about last time, but it's a reminder, the lighting of the Plaza event will be November 20th. That's a Saturday. A lot of this is in flux again as we look at where we are with COVID, et cetera. But the city party seemed to go off without a hitch. It looked really good. So we'll be using Jerry Wheeler to assist us with that. As she did the city party, did a great job, put it together. She and Lisa Jansen and the whole staff of the city did a really good job. So November 20th, and hoping to have some real diverse group of performers and the best of Sonoma to present. Advertising wise, of course, we haven't turned anything on, but September and October is traditionally when we start doing that. So I'm meeting with our ad buyer tomorrow to go over our strategy and how we're going to do that. Look for us to do a lot, of course, of digital and things that we can turn on or off very quickly because the situation always seems to change. But that'll be good. Our goal is to get people to come here and also to build up our database for ongoing marketing. As Lydia, you were talking earlier about how, MacArthur does a great job with emailing and doing digital marketing. I think that's the place we got to be in right now. We have 2 new guides out online. One guide to corporate events, and the other one is a guide to weddings. Corporate events is really good. We were able to talk to DOSs from the Lodge and from MacArthur and from Fairmont and trying to get some ideas about how to do events now that things have changed so much. And then since a lot of that's also weddings, we're finding with events is a lot of the planners are not professional planners. These are people who have kind of been given the task of hastily putting together the meeting of the event. So it's a different world out there, and just being prepared for that and helping them so when they can bring their meetings to us. Public relations wise, we are looking for fall and harvest information. You guys all should have gotten, or your marketing team should have gotten the information that we really need harvest information. And I know it's difficult because people don't know what's going to happen in a couple of weeks, but we're doing our best. So that sort of stuff, make sure you get it to us. So we're promoting it, and we're starting promoting winter. I really do hope we have a rainy winter. That would be a blessing, but it also makes our job a little harder to get people here in the rain. So we'll have to get creative on that. And that's the main items for marketing and PR. If you haven't had a chance, stop by the visitor center. We still have the cart out front, and it's been very popular, and a lot of people are coming up and talking to us, and they're from all over. So it's a good sign. Good sign.
Good report. Good report. And I'm looking for business continuing. Have we heard, Tim, anything from the county vis-a-vis the Nile virus and any changes in the current rules?
Yeah, so with COVID right now, I think we're looking at no major changes. It's just an incredible push, and I beseech all of you, testing and vaccinations are free. I've been sending out email links to them all. So if you have staff that are vaccine hesitant, You can give them the information. I've been giving out my cell phone number, and if people want to talk to me, I've been talking to the kid across the street at the bakery. We're happy to get the information out, but no, Norm, I haven't heard anything specific about what might happen. There's been a couple meetings, and I didn't attend the one 2 days ago. I did read in the paper, though, that they're watching it, but I don't think we'll get back to the same restrictions that we had before, since we do have pretty good uptake on vaccination. I know with school starting, it's a lot of people are nervous, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you very, very much for your report. We are now going to ask Madeline if you would mind talking on behalf of the city and update us as to what's happening at City Hall.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You know me, I'm such a shy person. Information, of course, we have a new city manager, Garrett Toy, who is away right now on vacation. So there are a lot of things going on still. We're still overseeing the management of the parklets. I think that's going pretty well. We just made a decision. I haven't had my life threatened yet for Broadway. And so that's behind us. And the council's been working on it since 2016. I think it was time for a decision. So no matter which way we go, people will be annoyed with us. So we're trying to make it people and bike friendly, because I have always, I'm not even a bicyclist since maybe I was 11. But one of the problems we have is a lot of people starting to ride on the sidewalks, which is dangerous. You know, we had a very serious accident many years ago on Broadway where a woman, I don't know if she was paralyzed from it, hit by a young kid on a bike. But now with hopefully if the plan, because it all depends on Caltrans, but we want to keep the bikes away from traffic. So we're putting the bike lane next to the curbs and then parked cars. So if somebody's going to run into something, it'll be a 3,000-pound car instead of a person. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. We believe that really is something valuable. And it's valuable for our kids. They'll probably feel safer to do this. And also visitors. There are a lot of visitors that come here and like to go on excursions. So our goal was to keep people safe. And that decision was made. And I wanted to let you know on the 17th is the ringing of the bells for harvest. And that's at the Mission. And I just lost my time. What time it was. And it's on the 17th. And that is, along with the zucchini races at 5:30 on the plaza. And then Mission de Solano is the ringing of the bell at 1:30. So if you want to go out and welcome some people there. Other than that, we're working on a multitude of issues. The cemeteries, of course. The cemeteries have traditionally run 100,000 in the red for many years. I think we have a debt of possibly $1 million. The cemeteries, Mountain, Vets, and the Valley, were given to us, obviously, I think by General Vallejo. And this is really an important thing to remember as everybody moves forward. There should be a gift policy. You don't want to accept something that's going to cost you millions of dollars to fix. But that, of course, before our time. But Kelso Barnett and I are working on that. And we're at a real desperate place in our cemeteries.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Oh, and so right now, that's all I can tell you. I'm sure Garrett, when he returns, will have so much information for you. But that's what's going on at the city. And of course, Logan has moved on. And the election, the 3 candidates, Sandra Lowe, James Cribbs, who owns the dog camp on Broadway, and Mike Nugent, who has been a face of person in Sonoma for some time. He, like I, served on the hospital board many years ago. So those are the people, they're candidates.
Thank you for that wonderful report.
You're welcome.
Does anybody on the board have any question of Madeline? Well, we look forward to working with you and the board and Mr. Toy when we meet him. And we hope that this will be a really booming year after the disaster of the virus. Does anybody else have any question of Madeline? And again, we look forward to meeting.
Madeline, could you explain why the council's going ahead with this Broadway restriping when it's obvious that the people don't want it?
Well, boy, that's the role of a council member. You know, I've had, and one thing I'm trying to be fun about this, but it's kind of interesting when people are angry, they're very prolific. And I get 7 or 8 paragraphs of questions. So those answers come a little slower. The ones that like the idea, which are many like the idea, they give me 3 sentences. Thank you very much. It's time. Make this a bright bike-friendly place. And you know what? Caltrans is still the last decision maker, and they could decide not to do it or to do it. But, you know, Dan, this thing has been sitting around since 2016, and we had to make a decision. You know, for me, I've always lived, my father was a pretty tough guy, and he used to always look at me and say, fish or cut bait. And that's how I live. And now that I'm the mayor, I think we were 3-1. Kelso Barnett did not agree with the vote. But, you know, I think it was very important. We had to move ahead. We just had to move ahead. And as I said, I don't know what Caltrans is going to decide. You know, they're in control. We were actually looking at striping versus striping. It's called continental striping because it gets more attention. It's not just plain old everyday stripes on intersections, but we're hoping that will help. And the next thing I would like to do is work on 2nd Street East, because people are, you know, saying that people are going to get out of that line and go to 2nd Street East. That's a project of mine. I got 1 stop sign there. We need another one. And on Broadway, you know, I spoke to Chief Orlando Rodriguez. And, you know, when you're making a left turn, there's maybe 2 or 3 cars out of that lane because they're in another lane to turn. So there's some way to reduce that traffic. And as I said, I'm just hoping for this. Thanks for asking the question, Dan.
Yeah, I don't think you quite answered it, but you.
Yeah, I did the best I could. What's interesting, I will tell you, I've lived here for almost 20 years and I've only crossed Broadway twice.
That's scary.
I live at MacArthur. I will never, I mean, I don't want to take my life in my hands, and it's even worse now. So
I agree.
Are there any other, thank you, Madeline and Dan. Are there any other questions of Madeline? If not, does any member of the board have an agenda item that they would like to see placed on the next agenda for the next board meeting? If not, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of July the 15th, 2021. Can I have such a motion?
Wendy.
Yeah.
Is there a
Second the
second?
motion.
Dan is seconded.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions on the meeting notes as submitted for the July 15th board meeting? If not, I'm going to call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
and I will have to abstain because I was not in attendance.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. With the exception of Madeline, the minutes are approved as submitted. And are there any comments or items that any member of the board wants to bring to our attention today? If not, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Can I have such a motion? Nobody wants to leave.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Liddy, I'll see you this afternoon.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Is there a motion and a second to adjourn?
I'll
I
second.
make the motion.
Good. Thank you, Wendy. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned. And Christopher, you'll send me a text on the date that you think is good for you.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
Madeline, don't forget, we're going to set up that luncheon with
I
Toy.
absolutely won't. I'll give it to the person that schedules his appointments.
Okay, that would be fabulous.
Thank you.
But I want you to be included too.
Oh, okay. I love
Have a great day, everybody, and knock on wood, business is back and we're going to boom.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank